Season 5 of The Score, the Team Roping Journal's podcast, where we cover the roping industry from top to bottom. This is where the team roping world talks. We talk through tough subjects, we talk big wins, and we talk real issues affecting the community. I'm your host and editor of the Team Roping Journal, Chelsea Schaefer.
We're talking about a cowboy and a cowgirl right here that can cover some big country and do cowboy work outside of the arena. Brooke Wilson and Tripp Townsend, the champions of the 10.5 Handi-Lo Futurity on their 5-year-old. Congratulations on great roping, and we had a good talk with them.
Hey, I tell you what, we just got done with the 10 Futurity, which was super exciting roping for everybody involved. You got them a little bit earlier today, though, Rhodey, in that number 12 roping, correct?
Yes, sir. I did.
Second?
I won second and then number 12.
What did you do today?
Won first.
First. Brooke wins first. Rhodey wins second.
And won the round. She won the round in the 12. Her and I won a round. And then her and Tripp won a round. So
I love this is the Wilson family right here. They rope so good. Been friends for a real long time. Guys, great rope, and both of you. Tripp,
thank you.
How about hanging out with this crew all the time, huh?
It's pretty rough.
I'm telling you. So speaking of pretty rough, I need to hear the story, and so does everybody else. You count to 3 outstanding.
Yeah, that's all I can do.
Okay, so tell me the story. What happened?
We were doctoring wheat pasture cattle in April, right when we come home from Arizona, and I necked one, and I looked down, and a cool was coming tight around my hand, and I seen it happening, and I jerked my hand back away as fast as I could, and it mangled them real bad. It didn't even cut them off.
Oh, it didn't?
Yeah, and we were an hour and a half from the hospital, and we loaded the horses and went to town.
Oh,
we
man.
were actually helping Tripp.
Yeah.
So this is pretty good to be able to win with him.
So for anybody that's never been out there with you guys, you're tied on, and you're going about 1,000,000 miles an hour out across there, huh?
And our horses like to stop, and so everything comes tight real fast.
So get your hands out of there, huh?
Yeah, not in the cool is the way to do it. But
well, I tell you what, Rhodey, let's start with you. Let's talk about horsepower today.
I was riding a Tongue River horse. He's by the Cat's Hillbilly stud that they just recently sold. I bought the horse as a 2-year-old right off the ranch, and we've done everything on him. He's kind of one of my number one all-around ranch rodeo. I actually heel on him. He's a big horse, but I heel on him, head on him, ranch on him. He's just a great all-around horse.
And Casey Joe was riding one of our horses.
Yes, Casey Joe, the boy that I won with, he was riding one of our heel horses. So it's a horse that he's been riding him for the last couple of months, and so he's a Betty's a cat.
They're calling her name.
Anyway, really good horses, and it means a lot to us because we put so much into the horses.
You guys have made a name for yourselves over the last decade, and just doing what you're doing here. You know, guys, who was that buddy of mine that bought one from you? I'm trying to remember which. I mean, there's so many of them, but I can't. It was somebody random that was one of my friends that bought one.
Yeah, bought the spur.
Oh no, it was Anthony Borgatello.
Yes, Anthony.
It was my best friend. Oh my God, that was my best friend in the world. I just couldn't remember who it was. It was Anthony that bought that horse and loves that horse. He called me about you guys and was like, "Hey, do you know them?" I'm like, "A matter of fact, do they stand behind their horses?" Yes, absolutely they do. Yeah, gosh dang, I feel terrible. That was my best friend in the world. So Brooke, tell me about that roan horse.
He's just a 5-year-old. Really easy to head on. Makes it simple. You know, he stands in the box, fabulous, and runs hard. Just does what you need him to.
Yeah. Tripp, what were you riding today?
I was riding a Pepsi from Tongue River Ranch also.
Gotcha.
Tripp has made Pepsi famous. I mean, he has done a lot with Pepsi. He won't say it. He don't say much about himself, but I think both Pepsi and Tripp have made each other famous, and I've always said that. He's snaffle bitted on those horses, and he put Pepsi on the map on the higher level.
Okay, we're going to take a break, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about our sponsors today at Bimeda. Bimeda might just be the largest animal health company you've never heard of. Till now. Bimeda Animal Health's equine products have been trusted by veterinarians and horse owners since the 1960s, where their Irish roots began. Bimeda is one of the largest producers of dewormers for horses like Equimax, Bimectin, Duramectin, and Exodus. World-renowned equine athletes rely on polyglycan, a patented formula designed to replace lost or damaged synovial fluid, and Confidence EQ's 1% pheromone gel that reduces and prevents equine stress, just to name a few of their branded products. Bimeda encourages you to consult with your equine veterinarian before using any equine products for your horse. Also, please visit BimedaUS.com to learn more about their full product offerings and where you can buy them.
Tripp, talk to me a little bit about not this event here today, but what this event in your mind is going to do to shape team roping going forward.
So I have a full brother to the horse I rode today that's a stallion, and I'm going to try somehow, some way to get him in this deal. And I've been riding these Pepsids, and it kind of paid off today. They nominated him, and I just brought about 6 of them to this event, and it's all I can think about right now. When I see a horse sale somewhere, I just thumb through there looking for Riata Buckle eligible horses. So I don't know. For me, it's a big deal.
Yeah. Guys, isn't it amazing what you just said? That was happening before we ever had the first event. When in history does that ever happen? Everybody always waits. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to kind of see what happens. Those horses that were Riata horses before this thing ever cracked out were ringing the bell. So,
how many did you bring total?
8 head, but I think 6 of them were eligible.
Right. We brought 10 total, correct? And I bet we had 6 or 8 more at home. We kind of run out of riders. Where Tripp, he had Corey Kuntz in the open riding one of his, and he's got several guys that help him and work for him ride them. But it's Brooke and I just kind of did it. We do it on our own, and we have one more guy that rode our horses. But anyway, it's pretty cool to me that he can bring 8 head and we bring 10. You know, I mean, there's 18 head of horses to this deal that all come within 50 miles from each other. You know, it means a lot to me.
First was Chris Littlefield, Rhodey, and then Bubba Garcia. We all do the same thing. And that's what is so cool, you know.
I've kind of said this, and I don't know what triple. I mean, the Cowboys rise to the top, I think, here. Riding a 5-year-old, I mean, guys that cowboy and do this stuff for a living. I mean, this is what we do for a living. I mean, Tripp, of course, doesn't need any introduction. But, I mean, I feel like the Cowboys kind of rose to the top here.
The announcers hit the ground today is what the announcers did. And what happens is you pick the wrong horse.
If I'm not mistaken, I think I offered a horse, didn't I?
I mean, maybe. Maybe you had one for me to ride, and maybe I said no, and maybe I hit the ground on somebody else's horse.
That's on you, so.
Yeah, I'll take this is right here. Proof, not a cowboy, right there. Well, I tell you what, Brooke, I want to talk about your guys' business now. You guys have already made the name in it. You've been kicking out great horses for a long time. How does this elevate that for you? Like just what you guys are talking about. The phone's going to start ringing, isn't it?
It already has been. People call us left and right just wanting solid head horses. There are a lot of head horses out there, but not everybody can ride them. I feel like if I can ride them, then it makes it a lot easier for anybody else too. That's kind of my goal. If I can't ride them, I'm not going to try to sell them to anybody else. I've got to be able to ride them and get along with them. That's the important thing to us, and us getting to haul them to these things. I mean, just proving them. You know, that's what I like to do. We like to season them, prove them, then offer them to somebody else. Let them. Yeah, we build a resume for these horses.
Talk to me about the bloodlines that you guys are the most fond of on the Riata side of things.
I like the Pepsids, the Betty's of Cats, those kind of horses that have made good ranch horses on top of it first. we get offered a lot of the cutter rejects or the reiners, and they're not rejects, but I would rather go find a good ranch horse, buy them off a Cowboy. They're what I like to ride.
Sure.
They're hard to find, but those are my kind of horses.
Have you seen the bloodlines? Talked about it a little bit with the other guys, but the bloodlines of those cutters and the cow horses they're throwing some bigger horses finally,
Yes.
aren't they?
Yes,
there
they
for a while
finally
we
get
couldn't
there.
really rope on them. We could heel on a few of them mainly, but they dang sure weren't making head horses for a long time.
The other horse that I rode was a Betty's a Cat, and he stands 15-2. I mean, you couldn't
He's all
find
there.
that. Yeah, he's all there. You couldn't find that before.
No.
It's finally coming together.
Yeah. So, Tripp, tell me about your everyday, day-to-day operations.
I just work for a living. We take care of cattle every day. I have a small feedlot. Right now, I need to be home doctoring wheat cattle, but
It's too dangerous.
You've only got 10 fingers. It's
Not to interrupt, but a year ago yesterday, we were helping Tripp, and I had a horse fall with me and broke my leg.
Oh, so we're
They're-
fingers and legs out. So
they're
yeah,
banned.
We're not welcome back. We'll rope.
rope with them. We're not working for it.
We'll come rope. We'll come do whatever, but we're not going to work.
Tripp, where's your place at?
Earth, Texas.
Earth, where's
Big
that?
city, Earth, south of Hereford,
South of
between
Hereford.
Amarillo and Lubbock.
Yeah.
So,
Lubbock. My kid's playing football at Lubbock, playing
Really?
for Tech, out there in the middle of nowhere.
yes, sir.
Yeah, they lost to TCU today. I just that hurts. Pains me to see that purple shirt on you right now. Shoot. So you guys been out there to your guys' place before, and man, your program's been going a long time. Tell me a little bit more about it, just the day to day.
We like to go find a lot of places to go use these horses. A couple weeks ago, we went to the Haythorns in Nebraska and stayed up there for a week. Then we went to Tongue River last week, and then we got to come home and rope on these 5-year-olds 3 days before we come up here.
Monday was not fun.
Monday
Roping on
wasn't fun.
5-year-olds that are
That
2
were
weeks
fresh.
Well, they wasn't 2 weeks fresh. Some of them we took them. I mean, we take them and use them. I mean, if it's their turn, it's their turn. We don't. They're not just rope horses. They're using horses.
And we take them and use them, and then we haul them to the jackpots. And one of the horses I brought here that I was actually third high callback on yesterday, I put him in Rancho Rio. We'll see if he gets accepted, but that's the kind of what we like to do.
When they get a Wilson horse, they're not getting a horse that is arena sour.
No.
Are they?
No, we don't like doing those kind. We want them to be able to be used first, just like Tripp does. I mean, he does exactly or better than we do on those type of horses.
Well, I tell you what, guys, it's an honor to be up here with y'all. Been friends a long time, and it's fun to see what you're doing. And I in my heart, I believe that for people like you that have put in the time and are doing these great things, being cowboys and cowgirls on these horses, this Riata deal
I feel like it was
is your
designed
deal.
for us.
It is made for you
Yes,
guys.
I love it. I'm so excited about what the
Oh,
future holds.
well, great, guys. Congratulations on you two winning a first and a second. Awesome. Tripp, good roping, pal. It's good to see you up here. This is what it's all about.